Let's make a distinction between someone who is doing the spiritual arrogance, like I'm better than, I can't handle, and then somebody who's choosing a certain, choosing certain people because they're holding their space or something.
Yeah.
Let's make it.
Yeah. So thank you for making yeah. So the spiritual arrogance, which the nexus of that is I'm better than.
Okay.
Okay. As your frequency resonance rises, you'll notice that you're different from other people. And you may not want to hang out with them, but it's not because you're better than them. It's just because it's not as pleasurable for you. It's not as enjoyable. You don't want to, there's certain dynamics that you don't really need to participate in or whatever. Or just those different kinds of people will fall out of your life and
just naturally, like you're not even choosing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you'll just fall out of touch. Like people fall out of touch all the time.
Yeah.
So those people will you'll fall out of touch with them, right? And different people will come in, or no people will come in for a little bit as you establish more sense of self and a stronger, firmer sense of completeness. Some of us need that. You know, this sense of like, oh wait, I'm not really sure who I am because I'm always defining off of other people.
Yes.
So sometimes you go through a period where you're not with that many people so that you can learn who you are, like define internally, right? To have that own sense of strength. So from that perspective, it's not like you're better than. You're just in this period where you're like, I just don't feel compelled to be with other people.
I'm defining myself
more.
Yeah,
I'm defining myself more. I'm just doing the work, or I'm exploring who I am, or whatever it is that you want to call it. It's fine. But there's not that arrogance.
Yeah, and the difference is if that kind of person were to come in contact with someone of lower resonance, it would just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I can't handle
that. Yeah.
I'm separating myself, you know.
Yeah, exactly. There's none of that happening.
Good.
Yeah. And it's more like you can just if somebody, like you said, or the person who's in that space, you actually notice the frequency resonance of the other people around you. And you're like, oh, wow, I haven't seen this person for ages, right? And you see them again. And you're like, I used to be where they are. Right. Okay. And it's not that like, oh my God, now I'm so awesome. And oh my God, I'm so awesome. You know what I mean? At the same time, like, because it's not, what I mean by the second point of like, I am so awesome, is you notice the gloriousness that you are, right? But it's not from an ego standpoint of like, I'm better than you.
Right.
Right? There's no comparison. It's just like, I've progressed a lot compared to me.
Right.
Right? What you're doing is really what you're doing. And that's great, whatever you're doing. Right? So that's what I'm saying. It's a slightly different stance. And so I feel like if there's a point where you are more quiet and more selective about who you want to be with, because you feel like when you come together with the people that you choose to, it's like everyone rises up and everyone feels good.
Right.
That's great. And if you want to be less with people who you feel a little bit more taxed out of that, okay, well, you're learning to hold your space and you just don't want to engage with that as much, right? It's not like you're better than, you just don't necessarily want to. You know
Beautiful distinction.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.